Okay. Let's see. They're not gonna let me do another one. Not gonna let me do another one. Okay. Trying coming back. So that worked pretty well. It's been a really long time since I've attempted to use this video and format, and had problems with it a while back, and as I'm working with it now, I see that now I'm beginning to have problems with it again. That first video went through really nice and really smooth. I think I kind of caught the system off guard, and when I made that video, and now it's like, oops, we're getting all of the problems again. So let's see how it goes for here. It's late, or rather it's early morning, and I am about sleepy right now, but this is kind of like, hey, this is cool, let me see if I can slip in another one or two. Yet it's like it keeps freezing, so I kind of have a sense, if I don't, it's like if I had to move the mouse and play with the mouse here to keep it flowing and not freezing. But there were a few things that I listened to and I heard Dr. Wilson say. I really would have liked to have stayed for the full broadcast, yet it's Thursday night and I'm sorry, but I couldn't miss Scandal. I had to catch my episode of Scandal tonight because it comes on Thursday nights at 10. And so I listened for the first hour. I did get a chance to ask her a question, and which she responded to, and then I signed out. And then I went and listened in the archives to the rest of the broadcast. So I had several more questions to ask her, and as I listened to her continued conversation, and I listened to some of the responses that she had to some of the other questions that came up, I still had a lot of more questions for her. And one of the things I think about as I listen to her in terms of the work that she, like Neely Fuller wrote his book in 1950 when he began to uncover the fact that there was a whole system in place called racism, white supremacy, and that information was done back in the 50s as she suggested. And it's like I think about through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and all of the work that she did, that he did, that many of our other scholars and psychologists and folks have done since that time. And it's like, well, how is it that we are still engaged in this same sort of fight and struggle to help um, other folks, black folks, to become aware of the system, for black folks to begin to practice justice in their relationships with each other, given the amount of us who are aware of it. I know my experiences with people, black people in particular, who are aware, who are conscious, cognizant, and aware of the system, and even those who profess to be actively countering the system and working to replace it with a system of justice, that they themselves have behaved in a very unjust fashion. And that at times boggles my mind. I say at times because I am equally aware and pretty clear in my understanding, knowledge, research, and work as to why that happens. And I'm clear that the program of Racism Not Anonymous can and will help people address that why. And I believe that is because while people have intellectual knowledge of these things, they have not applied it directly to themselves. They do not appear to be ready, able, or willing to truly look at themselves and their behaviors. They do not seem to be truly ready to work together with other black folks to actively counter the system of racism, of which they are very much aware of existed. And it speaks to the depthness of the mental illness that we suffer from. Those very, very deep emotional wounds, that very highly traumatized state of being. So much so, and so much so that people deny that they in fact are practicing it when it comes to dealing with other black folks. People, as is as is sort of our nature to join together in social groups and to come together in social groups. There's like this whole social group of people who are countering racism. And within their own group and within their own circle, I imagine, or I like to think, that they are practicing justice amongst themselves and with themselves. However, if you are not a part of the group, then that doesn't extend to you. That practice of justice, that practice of supporting each other, it doesn't extend to you. And you're kind of like ousted. And people pick and choose, groups pick and choose. They organize and they maintain themselves in a clique while denying that that's what they're doing. And it's just pretty sad. It's very sad to me to be aware that that happens. Now I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna make this one go too long because I want to see how this video turns out. Now that I've started having problems with the recording, I see it sticking and freezing, and I'm wondering how this recording is coming across. You see, I noticed from the last recording the lights were dimmer and we just got this flashing light from the TV, so I changed the setting in that regard to see how it comes out. And as you can everybody see, I'm in my recovery room. I am always in the recovery room of Racism Non-Anonymous, and that's pretty much wherever I am and whenever I sort of make a video. That's true. But tonight or this morning, it's literally in the bed in the recovery room. And so I want to see how this comes out. It's frozen again, but I'm still talking, the light is still on, so I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to upload this, and then I may even just delete it. I may delete the last one too, just because I didn't want that kind of background. But we'll see how this one comes out. And so until next time.